Alright gang, welcome back to our Broke to Billionaire challenge on Ohio Richlands. You join me as we're actively in the process of harvesting our canola field. We've got some plans here. We've mentioned it for a number of episodes now that we want to kind of extend our little pathway that we started. We want to make it a little bit bigger than it is actually now. So we'll try to work on that here. And our goal realistically is we're going to line this entire section and the other one that we've already planted with beehives, right? That's our goal. We've got that big, massive bee structure in the back. We put some beehives down at the end of the last episode, and our goal here is to continue to extend that all the way down here. I think it's going to be a extreme money maker for us, especially if we can start turning the honey into something else with the production potentially. But that's the goal here. So then we can at least connect back up to our little shed we put in down here. We have plans for this field as well that are going to utilize that shed, but that will be coming in the future. So we're just kind of getting ourselves all set up and prepped for those plans and get the bees going. So we've got a lot of canola here. A lot of canola we're going to get out of this, which is going to be really good for us. Now, as far as canola goes, I don't know if it's the best time to sell it now or not. But I guess we'll find out pretty soon. What we will likely do with this field is put canola directly back in it. Bees are good for canola. It does increase the yield ever so slightly. It won't be a huge increase, but it will increase it. So we likely will be putting canola back in here because we have, I think, barley up there, and I'm blanking on what we put in over here. What did we put over here? Wheat. That's what I thought. So we've got two, cereal crops that are going to be able to drop straw on the ground for us. And that'll be good as well. We'll be able to utilize that straw for silage bales, straw silage bales, or potentially even animals if we get to that point. We're getting closer, I think, to starting to incorporate some more animals. We obviously are doing so with bees, but bees are very, very easy, right? They take pretty much no effort whatsoever. You just plop down the beehives and you let them do their work, and then you just move the pallets of honey as they are ready. Hope you're all doing well, though. Hope you're having a good day. By the time this recording comes out, I'm doing this just before I'm getting ready to leave, and you've already known that if you watch any of my other playthroughs. I'm getting ready to go out of the country. Specifically, I'm going to Toronto for work. So, at least at the time of this recording, I will literally be, well, I probably have been back for almost a day. Probably about 12 hours I've been back for. Just trying to get a few of these done and ready to go for when I get back, because I don't know how busy I will be, because I will be working. Yes, I'll be up there for work, but I won't be doing my normal day-to-day job while I'm up there, so I will have some things to catch up on. Plus, I could be tired and I'm not necessarily wanting, or at least in my right mindset, to do a video. So we're going around the headland here as we normally do. I will throw this on a worker here soon enough. We do need to also touch up these fields. I said I wanted to do that and make them a little bit straighter. The little pathway here that I put is not the best. I definitely could have did a much better job than I did do with that. So we will try to clean it up a little bit. It will mean that we lose a little bit of the crop in this field, but that's okay. And then once we harvest this field, we can touch that side up as well. So it'll all end up evening out eventually, but it will mean losing a little bit of crop for a few harvests, I guess I should say. So we get around here to the end here. We'll throw it on a worker. We'll go grab our tractor and our trailer. I've already kind of got it set up and ready to go. We just have to bring it up here. And then we'll kind of keep it on a worker for a little while. And then what I'm going to do is start working on our little track that we put in, right? We put one in here. I want to make it bigger, like I mentioned in the very beginning of this episode. We're going to start doing that now. Get ourselves all the way down there to the shed. So let's go ahead and throw this on a worker. Jump into the tractor here. It's a perfect track for the tractor and the trailer, but when we get the bee hives placed down, that header will not be able to come down here without, you know, running into crop. We could get a header trailer for it, which maybe we should invest in that. We probably will, but either way, we still need to expand it out. It's not quite big enough as it is. I don't know if any of you are hockey fans or not, but if you happen to be watching the Stanley Cup playoffs, who are you rooting for? It'll be interesting to see, because at the time of this recording, Toronto is down 3-1 against Boston, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see if they make a comeback here in the next game or not. Because if not, I can give my Torontonian friends for a little bit of grief, right, for losing again in the first round. They tend to have a little bit of a curse going. Me personally, obviously I'm from Ohio, so I'm a Blue Jackets fan by nature, but I've played hockey my whole life growing up, and when I was growing up playing hockey, I was actually a Colorado fan. If you live in Ohio or you live in Michigan, you know there's a massive rivalry between Ohio State and Michigan. And so because of that reason, I became a Colorado fan, because if you know anything about hockey in the 90s and early 2000s, I guess a little bit as well, but to a lesser extent now than it used to be, they were massive rivals. For a while there, they were just going back and forth with winning the Stanley Cup. It was either Colorado or Detroit there for a number of years. So because of the fact that I live in Ohio, and Ohio did not have an actual hockey team until 2000, I was a Colorado fan when I was growing up. Colorado hated Detroit. I didn't like anything Michigan, so it was just a natural team for me to root for. So that is who I am rooting for in the Stanley Cup this year. But we'll see. We'll see if they are actually able to pull it off or not. They won recently, but, you know. Can they do it again? I don't know. So I'm getting this out of the way for a second. I had to pull it over there and stopped, but, you know, I really didn't think that through where I stopped it at, because I want to start working on this path here. So I don't normally do a whole lot of this on camera with you. I normally do this off camera, but I figure let's just do a little bit on camera. I think we're just using standard gravel. What we probably will end up doing is, well, I don't know. It's not even letting me paint this over here. There it goes. It's very touchy. Like, I've got to be, like, just at the perfect spot, or it will not even let me paint it there. It's very weird. Let's see. I think we need to go about there, honestly. It's a pretty big track, I know, but I think it's what we need. I'm just making it bigger and bigger here, aren't I? We're going to get the drill out here and fix that up a little bit. I think I went a little bit too big there on that, but let's see if we can get this done here. See, like right now, it will let me paint it over here, but it won't let me paint it there. It's weird. It's very, very touchy, this map. I don't understand why it's that way, but it is. Yeah, it's quite a large section there. We don't need that much, but I might as well go ahead and get this done, and then I can come back and touch it up later, right? Since we have to touch it up anyway, I might as well just quickly go down here as best I can, if it lets me do it here. This is not going to be the best work you've ever seen, but I think it's going to do the trick. Let me get it done, gang, and I'll be back with you. Alright, the worker's full there. The size that I ended up doing ended up being almost the right size. It's slightly over. I haven't finished it yet, but you can see here I started putting a little bit of a grass barrier there on the edge. I've got to go all the way down here to the end, but it was actually a pretty good guess. I just went over slightly, but that's okay. We're making a little bit of a grass barrier there. I think that's smart anyway for us. So it's going to work out well. While that's happening, I guess I can go ahead and keep on doing my painting here. We don't have a whole lot left to go, but we do have some. It's just a slow process here, gang. Just trying to make sure you know, get it right and don't go overboard, right? You want to try to keep it exactly the same all the way down. Perfectionists try to make it as perfect as you can get. Yeah, it is losing a little bit, but I mean, it's not going to be, in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be that much, and I think it's actually better off for us having it this way. It looks more realistic, right? It's pretty straight to me. I don't really see any hiccups there, except for that little section right there. But, I mean, are you really going to notice that? Not really. You are now because I told you about it, but I guess that's it. That's the only reason why. That'll work. We're going to leave it at that. That's pretty good in my eyes. It's going to work out well for us. And, to show you what I mean, if I go here to bees, which we can't really buy any other land today. Well, I mean, I guess if we sell the canola, we can. But if I show you what I'm talking about, so I can put the bees to... Where's it? Right there? Tap it. There it is. So that gives you a little bit of space there. We can keep the harvester kind of on the right edge there where that grass is with the wheels. It's enough room for the header to get through, and it should be fine. So that's why we're going to do it that way, and then we can run these all the way down here and make us a ton of money. There's really not a whole lot else we could do here with that, so that's just it's a no-brainer in my eyes. It's going to cost a lot of money to do all of this all the way down here, but it's going to be a win-win for us for sure. Now, the other section we have to take care of is this, and you can see it. Let me get off of that. You can see how badly of a job I did. We really need to get rid of some more of this harvest first, though, before I do it. Ideally, I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to run it this path right here. I'm going to go straight up here. It's going to be a lot of grass, right? But we're going to try to do that. I can probably start doing it now just to see how it goes, but... Oop, that is not what I meant to do. We need to get this back to the end here. We got 99%, so I might as well go ahead and fill up the last 1% here, and we can go and take it and put it in our silo. We can also take a peek at the price of canola. I haven't really looked at it. I don't know when it's best to sell it. I know soybeans are normally in June, July. I don't think canola is. I think canola is your typical crop that it's best to sell in the winter months, but let's find out. Let's find out. Quick save there. Heads up. Canola. It is in November, actually, so it is winter months, but it's kind of early winter. So yeah, not the best time to sell now. It's actually the worst time to sell now. So we will not be selling this today either, unfortunately. But we've got a lot of sorghum in there as well, so when it's time to sell sorghum and the canola, we're going to make a pretty penny. And that's really where we need to go next, right? We need to make sure we're making some money. Because we've got to buy another plot of land. We need another plot of land pretty badly. We've got a number of them. We're doing okay there, but we need more. Now, we have honey pallets in the back. I can show you those here in just a second that are populating. We have those silage bells as well from the last episode. They will not be ready yet, but they probably be ready later on today. So we can pull over here real quick and take a peek at that. They are 96%, so they're actually closer than I expected. That one's 99. So they probably will be ready around noon, which, I mean, it's going to take us close to noon to get the rest of that field done. And then over here you'll see the honey pellets. They are starting to stack up. Very nice. Now, silage. We should look and see what the price of silage is right now. I would expect it's not as great either. Yep, as you would expect, middle of the summer. Everything's bad in the middle of the summer. 447, so it's about as low as it possibly can get. Now, the fluctuation price is really not that bad. I mean, it's $150, give or take a few dollars, right? So it's not that bad, but, I mean, we don't really need the money right now, right? We don't. We can't buy anything. There's no field that we can buy if we sold all of that. We need a lot more than what the silage would give us. And the honey, there's just simply not enough honey pallets there for us to make anything yet either. Or make any money from it either, is what I should say. So let's go set this over here really quick. I'm going to start working. I know I've been doing a lot of the painting stuff, which I normally don't do, but just try to change it up a little bit, show you kind of how I go about it. The reason why I don't normally show this is because I'm going to say this, and somebody's going to be like, "Well, you're not that good at it." I know I'm not, but in my mind, I'm a perfectionist about this, right? I want it to look as good as I possibly can make it, and so I sit there and I worry about it. I get bothered over it, I guess is what I should say. This is going to be difficult to do here. I'm going to have to go kind of, very slow, make sure I back up, make sure I haven't screwed up the line or anything like that. So basically what's going to happen here is this field's going to lose a little bit more, given I've already made it lose a lot, and this field will gain a little bit. That's really what's going to happen, is because eventually when this field's ready to harvest, we're going to bring the plow out here, and we're going to shorten this, right? You'll see what I mean. You can already kind of see it taking shape here. Well, see, I just went a little bit too far there. But that's okay. It's not that bad. We can fix it again with the drill. Worker's almost full. Just that one little section so far that I've screwed up on it, but otherwise it looks pretty good. Well, there's another little section I screwed up on, but still, that's not that bad. It won't let me paint there, but that's okay. You get what I mean. It's going to look look a lot better than it does currently. This might be one where I have to come out here and drill some grass, right? Because it won't let me paint this. I've had that issue in other maps too, not just this one. And it's just a matter of us taking this and painting the rest of it in. There we go. Now this side, with the exception of those two little tiny spots, is completely straight. So now it's just a matter of us taking this side and straightening it out when it's ready to harvest it. Alright, let's jump into here. Harvester is nearly full, I think is what it said, right? Actually, I'm just going to stop it there. Go down here and fill this up, and then what we'll probably do is we'll take over for the worker at this point, and we'll get the rest of this field done. And then it's going to be time to, well, it'll be time to start drilling it. And what we'll probably do is throw a worker on doing some drilling here after we go around the headland. We'll take over for a little bit of the worker doing the harvest just to get a little bit further along. Then we'll get the drill out. We'll start drilling. Well, just destroy the tractor, Z. Go ahead. But we'll get the drill out, and we'll get all of that normal stuff going, and we can have the workers help us do that. We haven't done a harvest in a little while, so we might as well do some of that as much as we can, at least. Alright, gang, things are going well. Still, it's not even just this map, it's multiple maps, but it's weird that it allows me to plant grass in a field that we can't buy, and it tells me I can't paint it, but it allows me to put grass in it. We don't even own it, so a little weird, but whatever. We're gonna have some grass over there, I guess, growing eventually. You saw it. That's what I'm talking about, I guess. I should have prefaced that before I started going into that rant, but I put a little bit of grass there on the other edge of our track that we made, because there was a little bit of field there that it would not let me paint, just to make it look a little bit nicer. So we put some grass there. Part of it may eventually get taken up with beehives, but that's okay. I don't want just weeded grass to be growing there. If it's going to be grass, it should at least be some generic grass. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time and effort on, putting fertilizer and all that stuff down, because there's really no reason to, but at least it won't be just weeds from a field that are just sitting there growing. So we're almost done with the harvest here. We do have probably 4 or 5 more passes here. Likely 5, honestly. One small one. And then this field will be done. I went ahead and started getting the worker on drilling the field. We're going to have to get the fertilizer spreader out here. We're going to have to get the sprayer out here. And we got to get the roller out here. We got a lot of things to do here in this field. I'm not saying that we'll show all of those, because we probably won't, because that's a lot of things to do. And it's going to be a long episode. Anytime I harvest these big fields here, these two specifically, the 1-2 punch here, that it was just one field and I split it into 2. Anytime we do these, though, it takes a long time. That one is going to start taking a long time because we've expanded it and combined it with that other little field back there we bought. But yeah. So really, while that's doing that, I kind of want to show you where I want to go next. Ideally, I want to buy this field for $168,000 or this field for $289,000. This is also an option, $250,000. That's kind of where I want to go next, right? Somewhere that's still close to where we are, because we're not really ready, I don't think, for these big, massive fields yet. As nice as it would be to have one, we're not ready yet. We have to get some more equipment, really, to be ready for that. And honestly, we probably need a bigger header for that. When that time comes, we certainly will have to have a header trailer for coming back here if we do get a bigger header. I'm not saying a massive header by any means, but at least I think this is like 6 meters. If we can get like a 9 or 12 meter, and the harvester would still be able to use it, that would be ideal. Went completely the wrong way. This is a 8.5 meter. I'm sorry. Why did I think this was a 6 meter? Okay, well, maybe not then. Maybe we could try to get the 12 meter, the 12 width meter header eventually, but obviously that's a ways off here. The bigger the header we can get, though, the better it's going to be. It's going to take us less time to do these harvests, and as we continue to grow and get bigger, that will be a key thing for us, is getting a bigger header, if at all possible. It may not be possible with the actual harvester we have, but we can at least try. What we'll probably do is when we get this full, we'll well, actually, when I turn around here, I'm just going to stop it here. Go ahead and unload, and then I'm going to throw a worker on it, because we got to get the other tractor over here and get the fertilizer spreader going, if at all possible. Or the roller or the sprayer, any of them. Which we got to get one of them going here pretty soon. We have a little bit of time, but we do have to get them going here soon. It looks like the worker is missing a tiny little section. I guess I should have did 2 passes. Yep, he's missing tiny little sections here and here. We'll have to touch that up ourselves. May not seem like it right now because we really haven't bought a whole lot of new things lately, and we've just been kind of keeping the harvest, but we are making good progress. When it's time to sell all of this, we're going to make a lot of money. The reason why before it may have seemed like we were making a little bit more progress than we were is because... Yeah, there's silage in there. Perfect. We can sell all these whenever... Not now, obviously, but whenever they're ready, we can sell them. The reason why before is because we needed the money. We had absolutely no money at all, and we just had to get money to do stuff. Now, not that we have a ton of money, but we have money, and we don't necessarily have to sell our crop as soon as it's ready now, because we can kind of wait until it's a little bit better. May not be able to wait until it's absolutely at its best, but we can wait for a little while at least. What do we want to do here? I guess we should do the fertilizing, right? And then the rolling. The actual spraying, the herbicide spraying, can probably wait until the next episode, honestly, if we have to. If we have to. I'm not saying we do. I mean, we probably won't have to wait till then, but... Alright, having that there is so nice. We don't have to drive all the way back to the farm shop, which is, of course, on the complete opposite end of the map. Yeah, we're good there. We didn't roll, evidently. I thought we rolled this. We did. We must have just missed a section there. Or maybe the worker missed a section. Oh, well. I was just making sure that that was fully fertilized. I thought we did it, but I couldn't remember. I thought we did in the last episode, because the last episode was mostly just the grass stuff, right? And we had that issue with that small little grass field. That was ridiculous. So I don't know if we should really start doing this yet, actually, now that I'm seeing this. He's going to catch up pretty quickly, I think, to the worker. Well, let's run it. Let's just see. Let's see how fast we get caught up to him here. It's going to be quick. Real quick. Went in and took over for the worker really quick here. I want to touch this up real quick before we put fertilizer down on it. Don't want to have to come back and do it again. The worker for harvesting looks like he is done. I'm going to do one quick pass here at the end here, just because I think they're going to have that same issue with those trees down here. So let's go ahead and get this touched up a little bit, and then we can throw this back on a worker again. The nice thing is really, I mean, you've seen this before, I guess, but it's not taking a whole lot of the seed out of here, so this is good. I'm going to run into that, aren't I? Whoa, we snuck past it. We just snuck past it. Sorry about that tree there, gang. Trees are always in the way. I love trees, but they're always in the way, man. In this game. Having said that, you may think I don't love them after watching the Frugal Millionaire Challenge. And if you haven't watched that, go check it out. It's like a hybrid gator challenge. We did a gator challenge, went through it pretty quickly. I probably should have made it more difficult than I did. But that's okay, because the Frugal Millionaire came about because of Crust 2, and there's 4 of us at the time of this recording, 4 of us doing it. I'm the only console player doing it, so go check it out. It's been pretty enjoyable. I've had a lot of fun with it. I think it might be the most fun I've had so far on the channel, at least, of games that I've done, or challenges I've done, I should say. I really like the 200 horsepower challenge. I'm not saying that I don't, and I really like this a lot, but that one it's a different beast. It's a different animal. We're playing on hard difficulty. It's and you have a loan too. It's a beast, but it's a lot of fun. Alright, let me get this turned around here. We'll throw this on a worker. Then we'll move the trailer and the tractor out of the way, get the harvester unloaded, go put the harvester away, and we can continue our quest here of getting the rest of this field done. That's not the best lineup you did there, Z, but that's okay. It'll work. We'll keep it for now. Alright. this guy. Might fill up the trailer altogether there with that. Probably not, actually. It'll come close, but no, it won't fill it up. And the rest of this gang, we've seen this so many times. I'll probably put a few cup. I need to talk straight. Come on, Z. Haven't even had a beer yet today, and I'm slurring my words. I'll probably put a few jump cut edits in here quickly just to, you know, show you some of this. But a lot of this we'll likely just do off camera. There's really no reason to show the same thing over and over again. We do it a lot, unfortunately, because that's, you know, how Farming Simulator works. But, well, I left that in the worst position, didn't I? But I like to try to change it up. I like to try to... I think I've mentioned this a number of times, and if it hasn't been on this series, it's certainly on one of my other series that I like to try to change it up a little bit. I don't want to do the same thing every single episode. You know, we can do it 2 or 3 episodes apart from each other, but I don't want to do the same thing every episode. And granted, last episode, the only thing really did was fertilizing and mowing. But we are getting ready to do fertilizing now as it is, so... Alright, that is done. Alright, I won't do a whole lot of this. I'm going to get to the end here, touch this up. I'm going to turn around, I'll throw this on a worker, and then we'll go take our trailer and our tractor, go and load it into the silo. And we'll take a peek. Well, no we won't. We said we were going to wait on the silage too, right? Didn't we? We said that earlier. I already forgot. I forgot that we said it wasn't best to sell it right now. Alright, I got the worker going on the spreading of the fertilizer. It's going to catch the drill really quickly. And it's actually missing a little bit there. You can see it. So we're going to have to touch that up. I think it's just because of the line that's going down. But that's alright. We can touch that up. Let's go drop this off here, gang. And then we'll go hook up the roller. We'll get the rolling going as well. The spraying, as far as the herbicide goes, I think I'm going to wait until the next episode for that. I think the next episode we're going to have a bit of an issue. We're not going to have a whole lot to do, unfortunately, which is why we may have to sell some of these crops to do something. I don't know yet. We're going to have to see if we can figure anything out to do with around probably $40,000 by the time that comes, right? I don't know if there's going to be or anything or not. Going to be a bit of a hardship, I think, because no field will be ready to harvest, I don't think. Let's double check that statement. But I'm pretty positive no field will be ready to harvest. No. No field will be harvested. That means we have to figure out a way to get to $168,000 so we can buy that field. Yeah, no, they're not even close. Not even close. We've got a couple canola fields. We've got the wheat field and we've got the barley field. This will not be canola any longer. This one will be our standard canola field moving forward. Because of the bees, at least. This field can fluctuate between a number of things. But most of the bees will be here, aiming this way. So this will be our canola field. This field back here is going to change. It will not be wheat moving forward after we harvest it. It'll be something very specific that goes with our barn we put, or our shed we put in back here. This field may end up becoming like a wheat, barley, oat field. Not positive yet, but it probably will. This field will stay as grass. I have no plans to remove the grass from here, but we likely might do some animals that can utilize the grass. So we might take a little bit of that land up to do that. At least that's the initial goal there. So that's kind of my vision. So moving forward here for a little while, right? I want to buy either 8, which I think that's carrots, isn't it? Ooh, so we can't buy that right now. But I want to buy another field. One of the ones that's reasonable. I'm saying that is none of these fields are really reasonable. These fields are so much more expensive than any other field you buy. We could buy another grass field maybe in the next episode. Maybe we buy 26. Very small, it's far away, but we could buy that. That's an option. What to see. That's really the only option we have, I think, is buying one of those smaller grass fields with the amount of money we have, without having to sell a bunch of, the crop we have. Let me unhook that. Just wanted to give you kind of a heads up on where my head's at. While we're here, we might as well look at honey. I don't know when honey is best to sell. I have no clue. Just like everything else, right? Not now. Not now, I guess is what I should say. Yeah. So we'll have to wait on the honey, too. So when winter comes, gang, we're going to have a boatload of money. We may actually then finally be able to get a massive, massive field. Will we be able to get this field next to us that's over $1 million? I highly doubt it. 4, 6, whatever it is, 1.12. We will not likely be able to get that one. But hopefully we can get, like a 14 or a 9 or even a 33, 34 back here. I'm fine with those. If we can get one of those, that's really going to help us. It's another massive field. Yeah, we can take over for him. You guys know how much I despise rolling, so this will be all worker here. The big problem with rolling is I'm going to have to probably go around the head of them like I do everything else. Because they're going to stop when they get to those trees, right? But that's alright. We'll throw it on a worker anyway. Let me take over for this guy. Do a little cleanup work there, and then we'll continue our progress here. And alright, we're nearly caught up here again. I'm kind of taking a awkward approach here, but it's okay. Still getting it done. We're nearly done with the drilling there, and then the rolling is the last thing. So this won't take us long to finish up here. It's going to be exciting when we get to the winter months. I mean, sorry, gang, I hit my microphone there. I mean, we're going to have is a crazy amount of money, because if you look in here really quick, why do we have road salt? When did we get road salt? Oh, that's diesel. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. We've got 57,000 liters and 66,000 liters of sorghum and canola. That's going to be a lot of money, man. If you look at the best time for them to sell, the sorghum at the highest on average 2754, 3729 for the canola. I mean, that's gonna be a hell of a lot of money. A hell of a lot of money. All right, gang, I decided just to throw in a quick little time lapse there and get some of this done. So we took over for the worker doing the drilling, and then we're finishing the spreading of the fertilizer here now. The roller's still going, doing pretty well actually. Hasn't missed that much because of the trees. We will have to touch that up a little bit, but I'm going to do all of that off camera. You know I hate rolling, so we won't be taking over for the roller. We'll just let the worker continue to do that and get the field done. So, but I think today's been a very productive day. Not a whole lot of new stuff, with the exception of our new track that we made, right, in preparation for the massive string of honeybee hives we're going to be putting down at some point. But very productive. We're not going to sell the silage today. We'll wait till the next month at a minimum. We probably will have to sell it next month just so we can get a little bit of funds to be able to do something, buy some kind of field, hopefully. But if we can't, then we'll have to figure out other means or something else to do here. Because otherwise we're not going to have anything to do. And I guess we could skip a month, but I really don't like doing that in almost all of my playthroughs. Sometimes I do. I allow it in certain playthroughs, right? This one, I think I said I would allow it if we have to. At least I think I did. I'll have to go back and double check what I said early on. But I prefer not to do that as much as possible. Sometimes there's just nothing else you can do. You don't have any money and you've got nothing to do, so there's no reason to do a video just to do a video. You know what I mean? Put that away here, and we'll leave the episode there, gang. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe if you're new. It's free. Helps me out a ton. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, or ideas, please feel free to let me know down below. I'm happy to get back to you on those. At the time, I mentioned at the time of this recording, I should be just getting back from out of the country for work. So I may be a little slow to respond to you, and I apologize if I am. So check my other channels out. Links below in the description. Check the Discord out. All that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see each and every single one of you in the next episode.